Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country. I am doing something that is fitting for a Sunday morning where most folks will go to church who go to church. And Montauk Ed made a gift to the channel for me to do this one. So Ed, shout out to you. Thank you for this gift. And believe it or not, I don't know this song. I have not listened to this song. Randy Travis's Three Wooden Crosses. It's been requested at various times over the 6 years that I've had the channel, but I've not reacted to it. Anyway, I am now. And Ed, you wanted me to do the lyrics version, so you provided me with a link to somebody else's channel. It was like a smaller channel that I was unfamiliar with, and I'm leery to do that because sometimes you can get a copyright strike if they take exception to, using whatever they've put up, even though they're using someone else's content, in this case, Randy Travis's. So what I did was I got a live version of this that's non-lyrics. It's from CMT, and CMT never has a problem with us reactors using their stuff. Whatever ad revenue either goes to them or to the artist or whomever, but they let us use it. That's all that matters in this case. But I did put the link to the version that Ed wanted, the original version, the lyrics version. I put that link in the description box below. So if you want to see that one, go right ahead. And I'm sure many of you folks know this song. I don't. I happen to be wearing my Jerusalem, or in Hebrew you'd say Yerushalayim hat, because I was there about 12 years ago, not just Jerusalem, but I went to Israel with a bunch of folks from around the country, and about 25 of us went. Israel, we were in the West Bank. We actually had lunch in Syria, through the Golan Heights, this kind of thing. So it was quite an experience, I'll say that much. All right, Three Wooden Crosses. Here we go.
A farmer and a teacher, a hooker and a preacher, riding on a midnight bus bound for Mexico. One was headed for vacation, one for higher education, and two of them were searching for lost souls. And that driver never ever saw the stop sign.
Oh boy.
And 18-wheelers can't stop on a dime. There are three wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not four of them, heaven only knows. I guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go.
Yeah.
That farmer left to harvest a home and 80 acres, the faith and love for growing things in his young son's heart. And that teacher left her wisdom in the minds of lots of children, and did her best to give them all a better start. That preacher whispered, "Can't you see the promised land?" as he lay his blood-stained Bible in that hooker's hand. There are three wooden crosses on the right side of the highway. Why there's not four of them, heaven only knows.
Are we supposed to understand that there's not four there because one person survived it? Is that what the question is? Why there aren't four? There's just three people died and one made it? Or I guess we'll find out if all four actually died, but they just didn't put one up for that other person. Those are the two storylines going on in my head.
Guess it's not what you take when you leave this world behind you. It's what you leave behind you when you go. That's a story that our preacher told last Sunday, as he held that bloodstained Bible up for all of us to see. He said, "Bless the farmer and the teacher and that preacher. who gave this Bible to my mama, who read it to me.
Goosebumps.
There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway.
Jesus.
Why there's not 4 of them, now I guess we know. It's not what you take when you leave this world behind you, it's what you leave behind you when you go. There are 3 wooden crosses on the right side of the highway.
That song did not go at all in the direction I thought it was going to go in. I thought the 3 wooden crosses were going to be a reference to Jesus' crucifixion with the 2 malefactors. Some folks say that there were 4 malefactors, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. And one interpretation of the Bible lends itself well to that one. But either way, I thought this was going to be about Jesus, and it wasn't. I mean, you could bring that in as an allusion to what took place, but this was just really not just something about forgiveness, but about the dynamic of life itself. Like, this woman was a hooker. The preacher who died in the bus accident gave it to her. She survived. That's why there were only 3 wooden crosses on the side of the road, because of the 4 people on the bus, 3 died. She survived, gave birth to a man who became a preacher, and he was holding up. Gosh, is this a true story? There's nothing in it that suggests it couldn't be. I don't know. This is a song going into it that I said, yeah, I'm not rating this song because it was going to be a religious song, but it's really not. I mean, it has some overtones to it, obviously the preacher, but this was not something about trying to convert people and such. It was about the dynamic of life and what you leave behind. In this case, the man became a preacher because he was the son of a hooker or a woman who had been a hooker. Maybe she stopped hooking at some point, stopped being a prostitute, whatever. We never did find that part out, but she survived, had a baby. He became a preacher. So that's like the dynamic of life, like where you don't know it's going to play out in any one person's life, let alone the legacy. Like the song is about what you leave behind. She left behind a preacher, and using the bloodstained Bible of the preacher who gave her the Bible as he was dying. So it's not what you take, because we're not taking anything anyway. Like the Allman Brothers, you can't take it with you when you go. But there's a balance to be struck between living profligately in this life or just living selfishly and all that, because you can take things with you, and actually living a life that leaves something behind for others. In the beginning, he said, like, the teacher left behind the wisdom. So those are non-monetary things. It's just what part of you is going to remain. And that's a hell of a song. I wasn't planning on rating it, but this was not an overtly religious song, at least not to me. Maybe because I look at things a bit more philosophically, but I do have a pretty extensive background in the Bible, biblical understanding, the New Testament, Hebrew Bible, and just sort of contextualizing things within their time frame, looking at the texts, trying to understand various interpretations. I've actually done a rewriting of the New Testament in my own words. It took a year and a half to do the first rewrite. I thought it would go faster than that, but it was laborious. And then I did a second version of that, and just to see what I knew and didn't know, where my doubts were, where my understandings were, where different possible meanings were. So I have that, but this really just lent itself to anybody could listen to this and derive meaning and purpose and a sense of legacy. You could be an atheist and derive meaning from this song. So I'm going to rate that, Ed. And I said I wasn't expecting to, but I mean, that song is a clear 10. The way Randy sang it, I was just so enthralled with the lyrics that like I barely even took in anything else that was going on there. The instrumentation, didn't really hear it. The story and the way Randy sang it. Wow. So that's going in the playlist of songs of a rating of 10 too. So in the 6 years, I think I've given maybe 50 or 55 tens. And you guys are requesting amazing songs to begin with. So to think that I've done over 3,000 reactions or reviews and maybe 50 of them I've given a 10 to, that's elite, elite, elite company. So there you go, guys. You can thank Montauk Ed for that one, Ed. Welcome back to the gift request with a bang. Goodness gracious. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.